few people know about my life, but I want to hear about yours in terms of growing up. Obviously, we was on two different sides of the town of Dudley, which I find mad. But how was growing up for you in the West Midlands?
It was strange, man. It was very unique because, you know, like, well, first of all, I've never met another guy called Ramel, so then...
Yeah, it is weird.
So this is like...
Yeah.
And I feel like I've always been like the outsider, the bit of the weird kids who's like... I wasn't necessarily picked on, but I wasn't necessarily part of any group.
That's mad.
Like, it's a bit weird. So it's like...
mad,
I was kind of like just floating around everywhere. Like, I'd be cool with the popular kids, but I'd be cool with like the quote-unquote nerds.
Yeah.
Then I went through like different phases where people were like, "Oh, you're black. You're not very black. You don't sound black. You don't act black. You're a coconut."
Yeah.
And then like you know, like the saying, like, you're too like black for the white kids and too white for the black kids, that kind of thing.
Tyler Creator,
yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of that growing up. Especially going through all the music phases when I went through like my metal phase and my emo phase and all that kind of stuff, and I was in bands. And then
I feel like that's quite normal being a musician if you have like quite a very open genre of music. That's totally normal, and I feel like it builds the best musicians that way.
I think so.
Yeah.
But then like, I've kind of been used to getting the reputation of being like the strange kid, the weird one that, oh, we love him, but he's a bit weird or whatever.
Yeah.
I grew up getting used to that in Dudley, so now whenever I go anywhere, I feel like Dudley just kind of made me like, I don't care. Like, I'm happy to be like the weirdest, most extravagant, and to me it's not weird, it's just normal. It's just me.
100%.
So I think that's one thing about Dudley. But I will say Dudley, I think, raised me to be really well-mannered. I feel like it does that to a lot of people.
100%.
I treat people with the same love and respect. Even if I don't get it back, I'm not going to disrespect you. I'll just, I'll keep it moving. I'll step. But
that's mad.
Dudley raised us to be calm, I think.
Yeah. I feel like in Dudley and in that type of area, we see so much like, and go through so much trials and tribulations that we learn a lot. And then when I hear people's problems that they have that I haven't dealt with from when they was growing up, I kind of feel like, oh really? Is that it? Do you know what I mean?
Literally.
Does that make sense? Not putting shade on whatever problems people have.
Everyone's got unique problems, but like Dudley in itself is a unique place as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And one of the things that I have is that how multicultural Dudley actually is.
It is very.
A lot of people don't understand. You could go from one street and it's loads of black, Asian pop culture, and then you go one other street and it's just loads of white people.
Yeah, facts.
One street after, I don't know, loads of Chinese, Japanese people. Like, literally, it's so multi-diverse. It kind of made me just like, I used to go into school, bro, and like, people were, okay, without going into detail or saying X, Y, Z, people would be like, we treat racism as banter.
Low-key.
Bro, low-key, do you know what I mean, bro?
It wasn't until I grew up that I realized, a lot of things that were said to me at secondary school was actually like hella racist, but I'm just like laughing about it, don't make black jokes or make white jokes or whatever, and then you just think, ha, it's cool because they still like us or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like hearing the like, I usually don't like black people, but you're cool kind of thing. Like the little like slap on the wrist type of thing. I didn't realize how much that actually happened in secondary, primary school, where I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't until I grew up I started to realize that.
Can I ask you a question actually? Because I don't know if this is similar, but where did you go primary school?
Neverton. So I went to Northfield Road Primary.
Northfield Road, yeah. That's like down the road from Hillcrest.
Yeah.
So I went to like this primary school called Blowers Green. Don't say any freaking jokes. I've heard it all. Blowers. All right, I know
Blowers Green. I used to go to Saturday school there.
You see that? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's mad. Okay, so I went there. So my closest two high schools were Hillcrest and Holly Hall. So I want to know this. The reason why I didn't go to those is because my mom outright said, I don't want you to have any other, I don't want you to go to primary school with any of your friends that you went to.
My mom's the same. That's why I didn't go to Hillcrest.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
Because my closest friends, both of them went to Hillcrest.
Exactly. Yeah. My closest friends went to Holly Hall. I went to Castle High. I had nobody.
Same.
And I was known as the weird kid. I wasn't super popular and I wasn't super unpopular. I was there. I came into year 7 with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the library playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Literally.
Bro!
Yeah. I know the ones as well, man. I'm the kind of. I remember this one time. What was it, like year 6, just before I left school? I remember like I've always been that weird kid where I just had this fascination with technology and stuff like that. I like just taking things apart, knowing how they work and like researching them and stuff like that. I remember I'd bought in like a Game Boy in year 7. And I was trying to modify the case. I'm sitting there, my little screwdrivers and stuff, just like taking it apart. And everyone's like, "What are you doing?"
Mad.
And I'm like, "I just want it to be purple." And they're like, "But it already is." And I'm like, "No, but it's solid purple. I want like the transparent purple."
I know which one you're on about.
And then people were like, "Oh, you're weird, man." And I'm like, "This is a perfectly normal thing to do."
Yeah, but this is your vibe.
This is my normal. This is my vibe. And people would be like, "Oh, that's weird." And then I was like, "Am I weird? Am I different?" But I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, you know, exactly. So, do you know when did the music, your love for music, start? Was it in primary school or was it in, so how did that start?
Honestly, my dad and my older cousins' music collection is just insane. They've been educating me ever since I was literally a baby.
Is this like vinyl or like?
Vinyl, CDs, cassette tapes. I started playing violin when I was 6. So year 1.
Raw. So violin was your first instrument?
Violin was my first instrument.
Can you still play it now?
No. So
Okay.
I played violin for like 3 or 4 years, but the thing is in me, I was an idiot when I was a kid. There was this one time in like year 5, which is my last year playing violin. I tried to do a backflip, and I landed on my shoulder and I broke it. And and obviously anybody who's played violin, you know, it's a very like your posture has to be very correct. You know, it rests on your shoulder and stuff. I couldn't do it at the time. And then that's when I started playing guitar. It's more shoulder relaxed. And then I started playing guitar in year 5.
Yeah, okay. So predominantly guitar is now your go-to.
Guitar and bass are my strengths, for sure.
Mad. So how many instruments do you actually play?
Guitar, bass, keys, drums, sing, songwrite, produce.
That's crazy. That's so mad, bro. That's so mad. So that transition from violin to guitar, did that change in secondary in terms of like, bro, I'll say that I don't think I've said this on the pod before, but in primary school I played cornet for about.
Go on, yeah,
bro.
can you still play?
Bro, allow it.
Can you still play?
Go on then. Oh, bro. Okay, all right. I'm gonna sound like you now. I was an idiot, so I didn't really take it seriously. I probably did it for about 5 months.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just like, they took it back off me because it was like, you're not taking it seriously.
Yeah.